We can't start a video like
All right.
that. All right, we are back at it again.
Oh, yeah.
With some of the best sex positions for female orgasm.
The good stuff.
The good stuff. And this time we have one male's perspective, just one.
Just one.
On all of these positions. Hey there, we are Vanessa and Xander Marin.
Hello.
Hello. We're a married couple. We've been together since 2007. I had to think about that for a sec.
Thanks.
And it is our mission to give you the tools that you need to create an extraordinary relationship inside of the bedroom and out. So I'm Vanessa, I'm a licensed psychotherapist, and I've spent the last 15, actually we're coming on 20 years now,
Dating yourself.
working with thousands of people, and I've been able to serve as a featured expert for major magazines and websites like the New York Times, the Oprah magazine, and many, many more.
And I'm Xander, her husband. I used to work a pretty normal job in the corporate world, but I started seeing what kind of impact Vanessa was making with her work, and I decided I needed to join her so that we could reach even more people. Along the way, I've picked up some pretty good insight into what does and doesn't make relationships work, and I love sharing that as well as just some honest stories from our own relationship with you all.
So I created a video a while back with 5 of my favorite positions for female orgasm, and it was so popular that we knew that we had to do a part 2. So if you haven't watched that first video yet, definitely make sure to check it out. We will put it right up here. So in this video, we are going to go over 5 more positions for amazing female orgasms.
All right, let's get to it.
As opposed to terrible female orgasms. So whether you're struggling to orgasm during sex or you just want some fun new ideas to try out, this video is for you.
And I'm going to be here to share just one man's perspective on these positions. So whenever Vanessa talks about female orgasm, we always get a lot of comments from women who are afraid to advocate for themselves in the bedroom. They worry about maybe being a little too much or too needy. So if you have sex with men, I want to help soothe any anxieties about what your guy is really thinking when you're doing these positions.
All right, so if you watched that first video about the best sex positions, you already know that in order for a woman to experience orgasm during sex, we need to find sex positions that create the most clitoral stimulation. Penetration alone does not provide enough stimulation for women to have an orgasm. So if this is all sounding really strange to you, definitely make sure to check out that first video. So it's really important to note that the positions that we're going to talk about, we picked them because they can work at creating more of that clitoral stimulation. Yeah. And we'll talk about specific ways that you can get it too. Also want to make a quick note that these positions work for people of all sexual orientations. So if you have sex with women, you can use these positions. If you use a dildo, if you have sex with men, obviously you can just go ahead and do them that way too. All right, so let's get right into the positions.
All right.
So position number 1 is something that I like to call the bridge. So if you have ever done the bridge position in yoga, I know you do yoga all the time.
I'm not sure if I ever have done that
maybe
position.
Maybe a glute bridge at the gym. You're already pretty familiar with the basics of this sex position. So how it works is you want to start off in missionary with your partner in between your legs, like on top of you. Then have your partner sit up so that they are kneeling. So you're going to be staying on your back and you're going to put your feet flat on the bed and arch your hips up a bit so that you're in a low bridge position. So your shoulders and your neck will be on the bed, but your butt, your hips are up in the air. So your partner is mostly in control of this position, but they can hold onto your hips for a little bit of leverage. They're going to be the one doing the thrusting and making the movements. Okay, so this position is so great because your clitoris is very easily accessible. So you can reach down and touch it. Your partner can reach down and touch it. You can use a vibrator on it. Your partner can hold a vibrator against you. So it's just really easy to get that stimulation.
All about that easy access.
Oh, yes. And bridge position, it's really pleasurable for men. So if you have a male partner, he might not last quite as long here, especially if he's doing some intense thrusting. But the great thing about this position is that it can be a really wonderful one to just take a little bit of a break in. So he can stop moving or maybe move much, much slower, but stay inside of you. And he can also like kind of go back onto his heels, so he's sitting down a bit, and maybe take some time to like focus on your clitoris or touching the rest of your body.
Yeah, the guy can start moving more slowly while the clitoris is still very easily accessible. Also, this position affords an excellent view to your partner.
Do everything. So another thing you can do if your partner is getting a little bit too close or they're getting a little tired or whatever is that they can pull out and they can rub their penis or their dildo against your clitoris. This is called outer course as opposed to intercourse. So this can be another great way to just continue getting more of that all-important stimulation.
Yes, I would highly recommend this.
This is a favorite position of yours, isn't it?
It is.
All right, the second position that we are going to talk about is called the V. And no, I did not name this after me. So to get in this position, again, you're going to start off in missionary and then have your partner sit up so that they're on your knees, sitting back on their ankles, just like they would when you were getting into bridge position like we just described. So what you're going to do is lift your legs up one at a time so that each of your ankles rests on one of your partner's shoulders. So your legs are going to be in a big V, hence the name. So, if you're not super flexible with this one, sometimes people get a little nervous about it. I don't have the most flexible hamstrings either, so I get it, but it tends to be pretty doable. But if not, you can also just try wrapping your legs around your partner's body instead of going all the way up onto their shoulders.
Yeah, your partner can also help out by holding your legs up if it's hard to get them all the way onto the shoulders.
Yeah, so just play around in this one a little bit. You can also do having one leg up on their shoulder, but the other leg is like flat on the bed, or your knee is bent and your foot is resting flat on the bed too. So your partner can stay upright and thrust into you in a pretty similar way that they would in the bridge position. Or if you are a little bit more flexible, they can also kind of push towards you and put their hands in front of them to rest their weight on it. So this is going to push your legs back a little bit closer to your head. So the reason that we love this position is, again, clitoris is very easily accessible in this one. You can touch it, your partner can touch it, you can use a toy on it. Having your body bent over backwards like this, even though it might be a little weird getting into initially, it can definitely hit your G-spot, which is just the interior portion of your clitoris. It's not an extra special top secret spot.
Everyone's got it.
Everyone's got one, but it's not the top secret thing that most people think it is. We need to make a separate video on that.
Yeah.
But it can be a really great, if people like internal penetration, just getting that part of your vagina stimulated can feel really good for some people.
Yeah, another thing that your partner can do is experiment with holding your legs out in a V or pushing them together. I guess that would be maybe just more of an L or an I. But anyway, that can, adjust kind of the sensation for your partner as well.
Yeah. Another reason this position works really well is that you have to kind of have a lot of muscle tension to hold your body like that. And a lot of women need muscle tension in order to have an orgasm. So it just kind of naturally creates that. You also get a little bit of a blood flow to your head, which can also be a nice little bonus too. Now, another option with this position is your partner can lift all of their weight up off of their ankles so that they're kneeling and pull your body up with them. So you'll kind of be in like a shoulder stand position if you've ever done that in yoga. So you can make this position pretty intense if you want to, but there are also lots of easier ways to play around with it too.
Yeah, and it can kind of scratch the itch of like doing a position where you're like, instead of holding your partner up in the air, you're kind of halfway holding them up on the bed where, it's a little more of a realistic acrobatic position, and so it can be fun like that.
You always see those scenes in movies or TV where he's just like holding her up in the air.
Pro tip, that doesn't really work. But this does.
All right, position number 3 is spooning. So this is a familiar one to a lot of people. So you're both lying on your sides, you're both facing the same direction. So with spooning position, the initial penetration can be a little bit tricky. Yeah. So you just take a little bit of time to maneuver into it.
Help your partner out.
Yes. So one thing that can help is like you can lift your top leg, so that can help your partner like guide themselves in, or you can guide them in a bit easier. You can also try, instead of having your bodies right next to each other, your partner can like angle their body a little bit more. That can help them get in initially. Then once they are in, you want to lower that leg back down so your legs are pressed together pretty tightly. They can also try bending you forward at the waist, or they can bend a bit more at the waist too. Again, just a bunch of different ways to like play around with making that initial penetration. So once you're in though, again, you can reach down very easily and touch your clitoris. Your partner can reach their arm around you and touch you. You can use a toy. It can be pretty easy to keep a toy just held down there without either one of you having to hold it a lot because your legs are squeezed so tightly together. So this is another position that creates really good G-spot about stimulation, you're kind of getting that front wall of the vagina stimulated just naturally in this position. So it's a really great one for just exploring if you do like some of that internal penetration sensation, which not all women do. This also tends to be a less intense position. You can't do like really vigorous thrusting in it. So if you have a male partner and sometimes the timing issues feel like they're not entirely in your favor, this is a great one to do.
Yeah, this is definitely a great one, you know, for your male partner to, you know, kind of switch things up or sort of, you know, take a little bit of a breather while still providing a lot of stimulation to you. And it's still a very pleasurable and enjoyable position because you're kind of right there and can grab a hold of your partner, grab breasts, grab whatever you want.
Yeah, this one tends to be a good one for people who are shy or haven't experimented a lot with sex positions because it doesn't feel, you know, too wild or anything like that. It's like you probably spoon all the time with just cuddling. So it can be a nice one to just ease into and get a little bit more confidence to try other positions.
Yeah, and if you're at all hesitant about touching yourself in front of your partner, this could be a good position because, you know, you can touch yourself without them really being able to see everything. He will be able to see generally what's happening, but it's not like right there in his face. So if you want to ease into things like that, this is a good option.
Which brings us to position number 4 that I like for the exact same dynamic. And this one is reverse cowgirl. So in our first positions video, I talked about standard cowgirl or woman on top positions. So this is identical, except you are flipped around. So instead of facing him and looking down at his face, you're instead facing his feet. So you're staring at those big sexy man or lady feet. But what you can do is, you know, you straddle your partner and you can either sit up, you can move forward a little bit, you can actually play with the angle quite a bit. You can go all the way down to like resting on your forearms on the bed. So there are a lot of different ways to like play around with the angle here and find what works for you. So just like Xander was saying with spooning, this is a really great position for touching your own clitoris if you feel shy doing it in front of your partner.
Because he will not be able to see, no matter how he cranes his neck.
He'll just be staring at your booty and loving the view, or her. But yeah, you know, the first position we talked about, bridge, like you're pretty on display. Like you're touching yourself right in front of your partner, they're right there. And that is super sexy, really fun. But if you are a little bit shy, you want to take some time to like work up the courage for that. This is a great position. Like he will not be able to see you or she will not be able to see you touching yourself. So you can go to town on yourself and have a little bit of a sense of privacy too.
Yeah, and your partner will love the view, I guarantee.
That's exactly what I was about to say. This position has an incredibly sexy view. I know a lot of us get self-conscious about our butts and what they look like during sex, but your partner is going to love the view, so don't worry about that.
No, definitely don't.
All right, and that brings us to position at number 5, which is the Lotus position. So in this one, you have your partner sit up with their legs crossed or outstretched in front of them. So you're gonna straddle your partner facing them and lower yourself down onto their penis or dildo. So you'll be sitting in their lap, basically, and the two of you will be really close to each other. So you can keep your legs straight out behind them, or you can wrap your legs around their body. So this position works really well because you can reach down very easily. Your legs are spread, you are ready to touch your clitoris. Your partner can also touch it for you. You can use a toy on it. But this position in particular is really great for women who love grinding.
Yes.
So you're gonna be able to grind your clitoris up against your partner's lower abdomen, which can create really nice sensation. A lot of women masturbate using some sort of grinding sensation. They don't do like, you know, directly touching their clitorises. So this works really well for that kind of stimulation. There's not a lot of like in and out thrusting in this position. It's really more about like grinding against each other. And it's super sexy to like have your movements kind of restricted in that way that all you can do is like just try as hard as you can to grind against each other.
But also very much in sync.
Yeah. But it's also a really intimate position. You're making eye contact, you're so close, you're wrapping your arms around each other. So it can feel very sweet and tender too.
Yeah, and it definitely is another one of those positions for a male partner to last a bit longer because there's not a lot of intense up and down motion.
Yeah.
So it can be a good, you know, kind of taking a break position or towards the end of trying to prolong things. And then one other tip also is that you can also get into this position from normal cowgirl as well. Your partner kind of needs to sit up. It can be a little awkward at first, so don't expect to get it right the first time, but it can definitely be a good way to go between normal cowgirl and Lotus once you get used to it.
Yeah. Another quick tip is your partner can sit with their back against the headboard or the wall, so that just gives them a little bit of leverage if you have a partner who's like, I can't sit up, this is very hard.
Yeah. Help each other out.
Yeah. And one final variation that you can do on Lotus is you can scoot over to the edge of the bed so that your partner can have their legs hanging over the edge and maybe even like feet flat on the ground. Not if your partner is as tall as I am, because my feet never touch the ground. But this can be a lot more comfortable if you have a partner who doesn't feel comfortable like having their legs crossed or having their legs stretched out in front of them. So just another quick way to make it a bit more comfortable. So there you have it, 5 more of our favorite sex positions for female pleasure and orgasm.
Also for male pleasure. They're pretty good.
Yes, or another female pleasure too. So we share a few other top secret bonus sex positions in Finishing School, which is my online orgasm course for women. So if you are serious about wanting to learn how to have orgasms on your own with your partner during any kind of sexual activity, definitely make sure to check it out. We will put a link to the course down in the description box below.
So if you like this video, please give it a like and definitely go down into the comments section and let us know which of these is your new favorite position.
Oh yeah.
And let us know if you've tried any of them out before, what works, what doesn't work. And then finally hit that red subscribe button so you can subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you get notified as soon as we post new videos.
Gotta find out about those new sex positions as soon as possible.
Oh yeah, get them while they're hot.
And as always, we have a little gift for you. So if you're a woman struggling to orgasm, you've never had an orgasm before, first of all, don't freak out. Completely normal. There are so many more women in your position than you realize. But we have a free guide that we've created called The Best Way to Have Your First Orgasm that goes over exactly what to do to have that first orgasm, shares scientific research about female orgasm, everything that you need to know. So
spoiler alert, it is not these 5 positions. Not yet.
True. So we will put a link to that in the description box down below. Thanks so much for watching.
See you next time.